This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Coming up a little later on in the program, we will hear from the folks at agmarket.net to get today's market analysis. But first, the Iowa Renewable Fuels Summit happened today in Altoona. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds kicked off the event with her remarks, talking about where E15 and ethanol blends have all come from and where they can go into the future.
And good morning to each and every one of you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak with you this morning. It is great to be here with all the leaders who power one of Iowa's greatest success stories. I want to thank the Iowa Renewable Fuels Association for hosting this annual summit and for your tireless advocacy on behalf of an industry that's essential not only to Iowa's economy, but to our nation's energy future. Renewable fuels are part of Iowa's DNA. And long before biofuels became a national conversation, Iowa farmers and entrepreneurs were already asking an important question: how do we add value here at home? And the answer became ethanol, biodiesel, and now sustainable aviation fuel and next generation biofuels. Industries that support tens of thousands of jobs, strengthen our rural communities, and keep energy dollars circulating in our local economy. Today, as you all are very aware of, Iowa leads the nation in renewable fuels production. But let's be clear, this success didn't happen by accident. It happened because of strong partnerships between farmers, industry leaders, and policymakers. It happened because Iowa invested in infrastructure, supported higher blends, and fought back against policies that threatened to slow the progress. And it happened because this industry never stopped innovating and you never stopped pushing. And as a long-time biofuels advocate, I couldn't be prouder of some of the landmark achievements. And Nick talked about some of them, but becoming the first state in the nation to adopt Iowa's E15 access standards. Getting, yay, game changer. Getting EPA to finally allow permanent year-round E15 sales in 8 Midwestern states, opening up 10% of the American market. The results of broader availability and infrastructure investment and continuing to push. Last October, ethanol accounted for 11% of the nation's gasoline supply, the highest ever recorded. In November, E15 accounted for roughly 30% of total gasoline sales in Iowa, with E15 sales increasing. These numbers change rapidly, but I think it's 45% year over year. And over the course of 2025, this industry once more broke production and export sales records, thanks in large part to the growing demand from countries like Canada, UK, and India, and that list of countries continue to grow. As we look ahead, the opportunity before us, as you know, is enormous. Year-round E15 nationwide, and I was encouraged to hear the President's commitment to getting that done in Clive last week at the rally. But as you know, we have to continue to just keep pushing until we get that through Congress and across the finish line. Sustainable aviation fuel, carbon capture, and new bioproducts all represent the next chapter of growth. And once again, Iowa is positioned to lead. At the state level, we remain committed to policies that support renewable fuels, and at the federal level, we'll continue to be a strong voice for fair and workable federal policies that recognize the real environmental and economic benefits of biofuels, including pushing the EPA, which we've been doing for years, for more timely release of the final rules and setting the 26 and 27 RVOs. I think we're getting closer, but we just have to get better about getting them out sooner. We're grateful that this week to get some guidance from Treasurer on 45Z, not final, but we've got some clarity finally. And as we pursue all of these opportunities to continue to push forward, we'll continue to do so responsibly, balancing innovation with stewardship, growth with sustainability, and economic development with respect for our land and water. So again, I want to just give a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you in this room for your leadership, for your perseverance, and really for your belief in what Iowa can do. You've never wavered. So this is going to be kind of a hard year for me, but so this will be my final time to have the opportunity to speak at this summit as your governor. And I want you to know that it has been an honor of my life to serve as your governor. I love this state. I am so proud of Iowans. They are by far our greatest asset, and I get to see it every single day up close and personal. I have been extremely proud to stand alongside each and every one of you in our fight for the renewable fuels industry. And I think together, we have proved and we continue to prove that Iowa doesn't just grow crops, we actually grow solutions. And I also want you to know that the stories and the memories from that fight, standing side by side with you over the years, are many. And I just want to thank each and every one of you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Well, that again was Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds here on Ag Matters PM, and now it's time to look at the closing numbers. And for that, we're going to turn to Ethan Robson of agmarket.net. Ethan, what did we see come out of those grains today?
Yeah, I saw some green on the screen to end the close today. What a last 48 hours. Tone has definitely shifted in the grains and oilseeds marketplace. Saw yesterday about 9:30, 9:45 a.m. Central Time. Saw a Truth Social, X post, whatever you call it, from President Trump stating that he had a productive phone call with China's president, and that China has considered, keyword there, to purchase an additional 8 million metric tons of soybeans for this current season. Yesterday, I saw soybeans down a couple cents early on in the trading session. From that post, ended up 40 cents at one point. Continued the buying today. Had March soybeans up 18.5 at 11.10 3/4. Corn and wheat started the morning off in the red. Was able to turn that around as well. March corn up 5 3/4 at 4.35. Wheat markets up 7 to 8 across the board as well.
Now, obviously, the markets are hungry for any news they can get in this time frame, especially from our side of the equation, because we're kind of sitting here waiting to chomping at the bit to start 26. Brazil's wrapping up their soybean harvest, planting safrinha crops. Got to see some videos from a friend of mine down in Mato Grosso and showing us, that there was a little mud, but the combines were rolling and the planters were rolling right behind them. So it's business as usual there.
It is, yes. Earlier reports from Brazil, soybean harvest crop looks good. Some private analysts calling it a record as well. And so that has the trade wondering too, okay, if China does purchase these 8 million metric tons of soybeans, which is a big if, but they did the 12 million that many analysts didn't think was possible, where would these Brazil soybeans go? So going to be a game of musical chairs as far as world exports are concerned, as far as where these soybeans go, but definitely going to be interesting to watch in the upcoming weeks, as reports from Brazil is that this soybean crop remains pretty favorable.
All right, moving over to the livestock side of things, the cattle and hogs today. What did we see come out of there?
Yeah, different story in the cattle and the hogs today. Cattle definitely took it on the chin. Earlier reports started out gap lower to start off this morning's session. Came out from JBS that the employees there talking about a strike if they haven't already. Live cattle February down about $5, April down about $6. So taking some steam off there. Feeder cattle down 6 to 7 across the board. And we were talking about our Nashville conference that we had last weekend before we started recording, and really just the main tone from there too when it came to the live cattle protein sectors. Have some sort of risk management strategy in place, because days like these where we're down $5 to $6 across the board can and will happen. So it's important to manage that risk, especially during these great prices, and look at these profits and try to take some off the table.
All right. Well, if folks want to have those conversations, maybe look at what they want to do for both the grain and livestock side of their marketing plans, what's the best way for them to get in touch and get a hold of you guys and see some of that intel?
Yeah, visit us online at agmarket.net or give us a call here in Bloomington Normal. Happy to help. 1-800-779-1515.
All right, that's Ethan Robson with agmarket.net. Ethan, thanks so much for taking the time to visit. We'll talk to you again real soon.
Yep, thank you.
And that's been a check of your closing market analysis from agmarket.net. Let's take a look at the closing numbers on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network market screen. At the close, March corn was up 5.5 at $4.35 even. Soybeans up 20 cents at $11.12 and a quarter. Soybean meal up $7 at $303.20. Soy oil down a penny at $55.65. Chicago wheat up 8.5 at $5.35 and a quarter. Kansas winter wheat up 8 and a quarter at $5.38 and a half. Kansas spring wheat up 4 at $5.69 and three quarters. Minneapolis spring wheat up 5.5 cents at $5.71 and a half. Oats up 4 and three quarters at $3.11 and three quarters. And on the Merc Live, cattle down $5.27 at $235.25. Feeders down $6 at $364.07. Lean hogs down 70 cents at $87.30. Pork cutouts unchanged at $99.55. And Class 3 milk 2 cents higher at $15.47. And that's been a check of your closing markets, and that brings us to the end of today's show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Riley Smith and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.